Mas para eu fui tu. Why would you want to post my He also acknowledged the Minister of Police, along with the Deputy Minister of Police, as well as the National Commissioner. Without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, I will then call upon the Minister to address us.
Thank you very much. Deputy Ministers, National Commissioner, we call this a press briefing to update the nation on the recent developments on efforts to remove identified criminals, particularly in the area of Oab Tambo district in the Eastern Cape. You would recall Oab Tambo district is one of the two areas of focus in the Eastern Cape in terms of relieving communities of criminals, the other one being Kubeja. But our key issue today is to focus on the arrests following the murder of 18 people in Lusikisiki, which is part of Nguza Hill in the Eastern Cape. Now, before the 28th of September, the date of this incident, there were complaints in the community, as we said before, and grievances that before this incident, there were a number of known cases that had never been completed. And I do want to say that in relation to those cases, whatever they are, police are dealing with them, they are investigating. But in relation to those cases that occurred or that predated the 28th of September, where 18 people were murdered, there are 3 prominent arrests that were made and people brought to courts, either because of illegal firearms, and I know that one other person is accused of multi-murders. But we are mentioning that so that the community of Lusikisiki, who promised that we will leave no stone unturned and we won't confine ourselves to the arrests related only to the 18th, so that they get an update that police are dealing with those cases, and indeed they are, and they've made success and progress, which we are commending them for. But in relation to the incident of the 18th in particular, I will hand over to National Commissioner so that he can give you a thorough briefing in terms of how they've gone about on the murders of 18 people and where they are as we talk as part of, or as the main focus of this update today. National Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Minister, and good afternoon, everyone. With regard to the matter of the 18 people at Lusikisiki, you would recall that there is one suspect that, or an accused by now, that appeared in court earlier this week, Sipose Kolo, and we have since, after that, arrested 3 suspects yesterday morning in the early hours of the morning in Poshepsnet, and the 3 still will still appear, and we also arrested 1 in East London yesterday morning. So in total then is 4. They will be appearing in court tomorrow. But we also have one of the suspects that is still outstanding, that is on the run. We were able to retrieve or confiscate his vehicle, and that is how far we are with the investigation. So in total, people currently arrested is 5, and of course one is still on the run. And the investigation, we cast it wide, so we are still looking at possibilities of linking other people to this specific case. That is with regard to the SABC, and with the case of Kumbu, that was stock theft related. I'm sure you recall that after the murder of the 6 people, we have since arrested 1 person, and we are still looking for plus minus 7 or 8 suspects. And the 1 person has since appeared in court. That is the progress that we can give regarding the the case of the 18 people in the SABC. Thank you very much. We have not yet recovered firearms. We are on track looking for the firearms together with the 1 suspect that we are still on the run. So we are looking for him together with the firearms that were used in the shooting. Thank you.
Well, outside of Kumbu and Lusisi, we do want to also update on a case of a policeman who was murdered in Berlin, which is one of the small towns in our town, where 2 suspects met a policeman out of work, and they stripped him of his firearm and they killed him. The police have followed up on the matter through investigations, identified one of the suspects, and he then decided to fight police. They fought back, and they got neutralized, and they are after the second suspect. It's important that we do so because that family was deeply affected, just like we were and we are, that people should, instead of, he was not even investigating and not even looking after them. And we want to warn people, even at this stage, against attacking police, whether they are at work or not at work. If you do so, you are attacking the state, and there's never going to be any doubt that there will be consequences for that. How long it takes is a different matter. There will always be consequences when any citizen of the country attack police officers. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, National Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, we will open it up to questions. I would just like to ask you to state your name as well as the media house that you represent. And I think also, if you do have a question for either the Minister or the National Commissioner, if you could just indicate as to whom your question is posed. Just by a show of hands, can I see if we do have questions? So I see 2 hands, I see 3. Okay, in that order we'll start number 1, number 2, number 3.
And 4.
And 4, okay.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Dennis Delport. I am from Netwerk 24 and the Burger newspaper. My question is to the Minister and maybe the Major General Masemola can answer as well. We've seen this trend now of kidnappings in South Africa, especially in the Eastern Cape, and then also this trend of mass shootings. Is this a concerning new trend in South Africa, and is it starting to look like a crisis we should deal with? And if so, what are the measurements being taken? Is there a special unit that's been implemented or deployed to deal with this matter? Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Question number 2.
Afternoon. My question is for the Commissioner, Lisa Piet from Daily Sun. You spoke about the firearms, just in terms of measurements. How is SAPS planning to strengthen gun control in local, and also work with local communities to prevent these mass shootings? And then my second one is just any motive for the killings just yet?
Okay, we can take the third hand.
Sorry. From the Cape Times newspaper. I just wanted to ask in regards to the Lusikisiki, I know it was said that firearms have not been retrieved yet. I wanted to just get clarity, what are the charges, when they're appearing tomorrow, what are the charges they'll be appearing on? And also, if I may use this word, positively linked, how are they positively linked to the Lusikisiki murders if there's no firearms that have been recovered yet? And lastly, I just wanted to, if maybe we can get an update, because I know that there were special team or national team that was deployed in Mthatha, because there was a lot of extortion problems, and now we know that we are approaching December, where areas like Mthatha are surrounded by a lot of villages, and we see a lot of people who go back home, and towns like Mthatha get overpopulated because everyone is back at home, and crime and things like extortion has been a problem. So can I just get an indication, maybe in terms of, because we also know there were graduates, maybe in terms of deployments into Mthatha, or let me say OR Tambo, are we going to see more police? And I know also the commissioner in Gumbu spoke about, made some commitments about giving horses in terms of assisting patrollers. Can we just get more details about that, assisting communities, and what we'll see happening in December? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the last hand.
Hi, I'm Abra of the SABC. Minister, in yesterday's portfolio committee, you said that the country would be shocked to consider the fact that the massacre was coordinated from within prison walls, and that you had spoken with your counterpart in correctional services, Dr. Pieter Groenewald. Can you just tell me where we are in terms of those conversations and how far we are? Because you said nobody's been arrested on that point. Are you able to tell us what's happening there yet, please?
Let me start with kidnappings. Kidnappings, and deputy ministers would be free also to make a contribution, are a phenomenon that is emerging in the country and is on the rise. Similarly, we are concerned about it, just like all the citizens. And I think there are different nuances in terms of how it comes about. We don't have all the time to unpack the whole of it, because on the side you also hear of people arranging their own kidnappings. But on a more direct response, it's a phenomenon that is worrying us. And we take case by case, not outside the strategy of organized crime. It's part of that. But we take cases as they come. And so far, I do want to say that police have been successful. It may take different days to unravel a kidnapping, but those that have been brought to our attention, police have successfully unraveled and arrested in most of the cases. And that's how we came to know that kidnappings, and most of the time, go hand in hand with drugs, they go hand in hand with guns, hand in hand with foreigners. You will find one or two or three of those elements where there's kidnapping. But it continues to be a crime that occupies us, and we're wanting to say to people in our country they must be alert. They must be on the alert that there are people who are out there for this crime. Mainly, it's people will kidnap and then demand ransoms and all of that. But police are equal to the task so far. It's not something that is a crisis, but it is a concern, of course. Now, this, yes, we had a meeting with my colleague and the minister as a whole. It was not just the two of us, where we're discussing when do we put a ban, a total ban, and a stop to issues where police would, there would be an incident, police will investigate, arrest, take people through courts, they get, they're found guilty, and they get sentenced, and they go to prison. Once in prison, they start coordinating crimes. Minister Groenewald even mentioned a huge sum of money that they go as far as coordinating those monies per month, money that you don't make in 10 years and so on, but they would do that. So we agreed in that meeting that they have to move on their side as correctional services, introduce new mechanisms through which they will be able to know, make people who are in prison know that once you are in prison, you are in prison. It's no place where you must even think of coordinating and all of that. So far they have access, they get access to phones, they get access to other individuals with whom they liaise and commission crimes and all of that. We are quite aware about that, because it means that after the commission of another crime, it means that police must then begin to investigate once more, link that person, arrest him or her for the second time. So we were saying, in case it happens in relation to the CDC, people must understand that it's in the context of what's happening in the country at the moment, and it's a phenomenon that we need to stop and can stop via correctional services.
I think the bulk of the questions can then be responded to by the National Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Regarding the question of gun control, current legislation is quite adequate, but we should remember that firearms that are also in the hands of private individuals, at some point they become illegal as they get lost. Some get, of course, lost or robbed from law enforcement agencies, then they become illegal. Motive, we do not know at this stage. You don't want to speculate, but just have to wait for the process. As it gets to court, you will get the real motive as to what it was. In terms of how they linked, we do have various methods which we were able to link them, and we can't disclose that as it will come out at court as to how we link them. What I can give is that the vehicle that we confiscated was at the crime scene, that we know for a fact, but there are other ways that will come out at court as to how we link them to the crime scene. And in terms of deployment, yes, as we have launched the national festive season last week, today we launch in the province of Western Cape. Remember, what we are saying with the Operation Festive Season is that we heighten policing in all areas. We know that, yes, people will be going home, going to holidays, That's when we'll be heightening police visibility. There has been a pass out in Tata a week ago. There was a pass out, I think yesterday. There is a pass out tomorrow also in various of our colleges. Those new constables will not be going on holidays. They will be joining to reinforce the current police that are deployed, so there will be visibility in most areas. The commitment still stands for the team. We are still busy with paperwork, so we'll make those horses at some point available. But of course, it not only be for them, it will be more than one area in the Eastern Cape where we'll deploy those horses. I think that is all.
Well, I just want to say that if you want to go home to Mthatha, you can go there. It's quite safe. You can go there.
Thank you, Minister. I have been advised that we do not have any questions from the virtual platforms. Okay, there's a hand. I see there's one question from the virtual platforms. Can you please just, are you sending it, reading? Okay. So there's one question that comes from Marvin Adams. Minister, can you provide detailed information on the types of weapons used in recent mass shootings in South Africa? Specifically, what can you tell us about the manufacturers of these weapons, the prevalence of automatic weapons, and whether any of these firearms were formerly state-owned?
Well, I can't do that offhand, but I would be willing to do that in the near future. But I can't do that offhand.
Okay, I see we have one last hand that I am going to take because we don't have questions from the virtual platforms. The last two hands that I'm going to take. We can go first, Khalid.
I just need to know, do we know in which court the suspects will be appearing tomorrow? And then, Minister, I just need clarity, please. My understanding in the committee yesterday was that it is understood that the Lusikisiki shooting was coordinated from inside prison. Is that a fact, or are you saying it could have been because you are seeing this trend happening? I just need to be sure on.
Look, Commissioner has said he doesn't want to speculate. Sometimes we get information, and police get information, but then there's always need to translate that into concrete evidence. So far, we are just listening to what we are getting, whatever it is. There is a story like that, but up until it gets confirmed and becomes a fact, we will then be able to say so once that has happened. But in case it happens, I'm saying it's important that we note this, and there's something that we're doing about it, because you remember that one of the three people that I referred to earlier, who are not necessarily directly linked to the SABC, is a parolee. It is said that it's a parolee, which means that even parolees are a danger, and there's a need for us to review our parole system. Just one example is enough to send a message to all of us in South Africa to say, so do we have all the criteria that we can vouch on to say when we say you are given parole, you are no longer going to be dangerous in the way that you were. Now this one proof is saying, no, I want to prove that I'm still dangerous as I was. You arrested me, I got charged, whatever. I've pulled my sentence through, which was quite longish. I'm back, and I'm back on my old ways. Now, it means that, and people look up to government and say, so what what yardsticks did you use? What measures, what systems did you use to assess this particular individual now that he has done this? And therefore, it's a matter that is uppermost in our minds, that we should put an end to that, including this one where coordination does gets to happen while the person is in prison, or is supposed to be in prison.
Thank you, Minister. We'll take the last hand from
Court,
Onesisa.
where the case is being heard tomorrow.
Or they will appear at the SABC court.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, it's Lola Soto from ENCA. I just want to find out, in case maybe you've already spoken about this, just a breakdown of where all the suspects have been arrested, and if so far you know about their previous criminality. And the last one, are we expecting more arrests? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We do expect, yes, more arrests in the future. As I said, we are having one that we are aware of that is on the run that we are looking for. We can't say it will be the last one. And as the minister said, we are also looking somewhere in the correctional services. We are also looking for further arrest in that regard at the correctional service. And the ones that we arrested, some of them have previously committed crime. You would know that the one that appeared at the SABC this week, Posokolo, he did commit murder in the past. He killed a policeman at the SABC. He was sentenced for life in 2002. He was paroled last year in May, and yeah, that is his record, what he is. The others will update you as we go along, as and when they have appeared, because they haven't appeared in court. This one have appeared in court. Thank you.
Onesisa, and then we'll take the last hand from you.
I'm Onesisa Khalifa from HRFM News. I have two questions. One is, what charges do the Lusikisiki suspects face? And the other one to the minister. There have been cases of extortion reported here in Cape Town, with one case in particular where 8 police officers have been arrested in connection to extorting Chinese-owned businesses. And HRFM spoke to one police detective who highlighted a concern of poor pay, saying that many cops take bribes or buckle to extortion due to poor pay. Are there any talks to improve police pay, and detectives in particular, given that they are at the forefront of investigating serious crimes? Thank you.
We'll take the last question.
Commissioner, I'm from SABC, Zilli is my name. I want to hear, do you feel that like you have enough boots on the ground? Every other weekend